Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Wright and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. Big shout out to Riley Claw on Tumblr. I absolutely adore their art style, so check them out. Their links will be linked below. Without further ado, please enjoy Kitty's First Pumpkin. Cat Noir ran across the ledge of Notre Dame, spinning into a flip, landing in a split. His hands were in the air, graceful as a ballerina's. He stayed in his split until Ladybug reluctantly gave him a brief golf clap. Cat Noir swung his legs over the side of the magnificent building, saying, thank you, I'll be here all night." He dramatically bowed, to which Ladybug rolled her eyes. "You're such a show-off, you know." She chided him, but all in good fun. Honestly, she found it endearing and impressive. She couldn't help but wonder if he was this skilled in gymnastics as a civilian. "Come on, admit it. You love me." Cat nudged her with his elbow, which she batted away, giggling. Yeah. She did love him. More than anything. This was a recent development in their relationship. Ladybug knew for sure that he loved her, and now what's stopping them from being together? Right. The ever-impending doom of Hawkmoth looming over Paris. He leaned back and sighed happily. "I love you too, m'lady." The superhero stared off the edge of Notre Dame, patrolling the area after an Akuma attack. "Can you believe it's almost Halloween? I've never actually been trick-or-treating before. My dad said it was unsafe." Ladybug turned to Cat Noir quickly, her pigtails whipping her face. What? Never? Not even once? She couldn't imagine that. She went every year with her friends and it hurts her that he'd never experienced it. Cat would love it. He'd love anything that involved dressing up and, of course, sweet treats. He shook his head glumly. "Never. My father is kind of strict." Cat looked at his feet suspended in the air. Ladybug draped her arm around his shoulders. "Why don't we go together this year? As superheroes, of course, but still, it could be fun." His cat ears perked up and he smiled, beaming at her. "Really, LB? You mean it?" "Of course, silly cat. You need to experience all of the fall things. Have you ever carved a pumpkin?" "Carved a pumpkin?" he repeated, shaking his head. "That involves sharp objects, so do you think I was allowed to do that?" He made a joke, but Ladybug could see the pain in his eyes. She hummed thoughtfully. "Got it. Wait right here, Cat." With a spin of her yo-yo, she disappeared into the golden glow of the Parisian sunset. As quickly as she left, she came back balancing 2 pumpkins in one hand. She set the pumpkins down on the cathedral. Ta-da! Pumpkins for carving! She whipped 2 knives out of the small belt on her waist, handing one to Cat Noir. "Be careful, okay, kitty? I wouldn't want you to hurt yourself." He laughed, crossing his arms. "Please, m'lady." This had to be the nicest thing anyone had ever done for him. This just confirmed his feelings for her. Ladybug was kind and thoughtful. Because of his father, he had missed out on so much. "So, where do we start?" "First, we need to cut the top off and take out the guts." She smirked at him, holding her large pumpkin in her lap. His eyes widened in horror. "Guts?" "Here, I'll show you." Like a pumpkin pro, she swiftly cut a medium-sized circle on the top of the pumpkin. She took off what now looked like a lid and stuck her hand inside. Her hand came out of the pumpkin, covered in a gooey orange substance covered with pumpkin seeds. "See? Guts!" She giggled, then launched the pile of the pumpkin insides at Cat Noir's head. He narrowly dodged her throw. "Hey! Okay, 2 can play at that game." He stuck his tongue out to the side and thought as he also sliced the top of his pumpkin. He reached one clawed hand inside, grabbing a fistful of pumpkin, hurling it right back at Ladybug. Ladybug wasn't quite as quick as Cat, so she took the pumpkin to the side of her head, the orange mush sticking to her jet black hair. Her mouth gaped open as she felt her pumpkin-covered pigtail. "Oh, you're going down." This turned into an all-out pumpkin gut war. They fought until they were covered head to toe in pumpkin. Cat Noir stuck his face inside the empty pumpkin. "I think I'm out of ammo." When he pulled his face away, Ladybug noticed that there were orange streaks covering his cheeks. She couldn't hold back her giggles. He laughed along, then sat down holding his pumpkin. "I'm going to make something for you, Bugaboo." The pair carved away, making jokes and laughing the entire time. "Look, m'lady!" Cat Noir held his pumpkin up to his face that only somewhat resembled his animal counterpart. "I'm a cat!" Ladybug held her belly, nearly toppling over. "And I'm a ladybug!" She showed off her perfectly polished pumpkin that had one large ladybug carved into it with a few other smaller bugs. "Let's trade!" "Thank you, Ladybug." Cat Noir smiled at her, a blush emerging under his black mask. "It's just a pumpkin. No big deal." She shrugged as they exchanged pumpkins. "It's not just about the pumpkin. It's everything. You tried so hard to make me feel like I'm not missing out. You make me feel like I belong. I often feel isolated from people and the world in my everyday life. You make me feel seen." He paused, taking a step backwards. He looked at the ground, wondering if he said too much. "Sorry, that's really cheesy." "No, I think it's sweet." She smiled, then kissed his pumpkin-covered cheek as a blush spread across her face as well. "I better go. It's getting late. See you later, kitty." "Until tomorrow, Bugaboo." He bowed, still clutching her ladybug pumpkin to his stomach. He watched her leave, desperately wanting more time with her. No amount of time would ever be enough. Not for him. Not ever. She detransformed behind her house, hoping to walk in unnoticed rather than slipping in through the balcony. After the pink glow had subsided, Marinette felt her hair. Her transformation could do a lot, but apparently it couldn't fix her pumpkin-matted hair. Unfortunately for her parents were closing up shop for the night. "Marinette, what happened to you?" Her mother dashed to her daughter's side, taking strands of her hair. "Mom, relax, it's fine. I'll go take a shower now. I wanted to help a friend carve pumpkins and, well, this is the result." Marinette took her hair out of her mother's grasp. She was trying to get out of there, but she couldn't before her father said, "This friend, is it a boyfriend?" He crossed his arms, still holding a rolling pin. Marinette thought for a moment. How could she answer this? It's nothing official. She smiled widely, thoughts of Cat Noir running through her mind. Was he her boyfriend? Something like that. Thank you so much for listening. If you're still listening, tell me in the comments what you're going to be for Halloween. If you want even more fan fiction, here is another one about Halloween. I know you want to click it. Stay miraculous!